Hey guys, it's Kayla Lindsay, and I'm excited to be on the phone with Lindsay for Coffee Combos.
She's lying.
I'm exhausted. I wasn't prepared to podcast tonight, and I'm sucking it the fuck up, and I am podcasting, and I threw some stuff together that I wanted to tell you, and I'm actually excited to hear what you put together, because I'm like just so out of the loop.
Well, first of all, I just want to get started with our trip, because I literally felt like a train hit me by the time I got back home.
I bet. I think you had way more fun than I did.
Oh, I definitely had. I had a lot of fun. Like,
I know.
But the crazy thing is we didn't do anything like crazy. I mean, we just had a good time. And I mean, we were back at the room by like before 11 every night, and I was laying in bed in a face mask like a loser. But yeah, the time that I was out and like exploring, I had a good time.
Good. I'm glad you did, because I feel like every mom needs that.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't really go and do like anything with Jackson. Like, I don't ever have a babysitter or ever, you know, like I'm always like full-time mom all the time. And I love that. That's by choice, you know, and I love having him with me. And actually, it was really funny on the way to where we were going today. I think we were on the way to the grocery store. He was like, "Mom, the plans to Jamaica are canceled." And I was like, "Excuse me?" And he said, "The plans of us going to Jamaica are canceled." And I said, "Well, why is that? I thought you wanted to go. As of last night, you wanted to go." And he said, "Well, because you got to go to New York and I didn't. And so that's somewhere that I want to see. So I'm going to do that first. Then we can go to Jamaica."
So is that the plan? Are y'all going to go to New York first?
I mean, I'm going back to New York in August, because one of my friends is having like a 40th birthday in New York City.
Okay.
And so I'm going back then anyway, but obviously he will not be in attendance for that. Because, you know, you don't hang with 40-year-old women as a 5-year-old little boy. But I don't know, like I just have a weird thing with New York City and like cities like New York City. I just don't know that they're really a place to bring kids.
I don't know what there is to do in the city for kids. I don't ever... You know, it was the Teen Mom 2 reunion, and I didn't bring my kids because there's nothing. You can take them to like a show and like maybe like walk around Central Park. I just don't know enough about the city, and I also hate the city. So I just have no desire, and my kids don't care.
Well, and I also
they'd rather be at a beach.
I also kind of feel like that it takes you forever to get somewhere. Like I was in one Uber for literally to go 2.3 miles. It was like a 40-minute Uber, and it's like, yeah, no child wants to be involved doing that. I would rather just, like you said, go to a beach somewhere and we can like YouTube New York to like fake like we're there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think that's better. I mean, he would probably have way more fun in Jamaica or Mexico than he would to New York.
But let me tell you, okay, so we were kind of exploring around, and on the last day, I woke up, got ready, got my suitcase like perfectly packed. Did you see how perfect my suitcase was packed?
I didn't.
Oh my gosh, it was so perfect.
You didn't send me that.
I wish I would have. I know, but I saw you and I opened up my suitcase in front of you. I thought you would have certainly been like, "Oh my gosh, Lindsay, that's amazing." But you didn't.
No, but I didn't. You should have taken a picture so I can copy it. I'm leaving for LA on Thursday, so I kind of need some tips. And you used your new suitcase, didn't you?
I know, I did. I was so excited about having it. It actually came like 2 days before the trip, so it was like perfect timing. But anyhow, I packed up all my stuff, got it all perfect, you know, how I have to have everything, and go to Starbucks, get breakfast, come back, and where I was staying was right beside the Toys R Us in Times Square. So I go over to the Toys R Us, and it was so sad to see. I mean, that's a beautiful Toys R Us, and it was so sad to see how it just kind of looked like dead in there. And their last day in Times Square is on Memorial Day. So they were doing like this big blowout sale, and I bought Jackson like a bunch of Legos and just like, I don't know if anybody knows what Hatchimals are, but he's into...
I think everyone knows what Hatchimals
Legos, Hatchimals, blind bags, like crayons. They had all this stuff. It was like 60% off. Stuff that would have cost me probably like $200 literally cost me like $30. And I was the coolest mom when I came home.
He probably just wants to go back to New York to go to the toy store, but it won't be there. So that's really sad. You know what's really sad about that is like, if you think about it, I like grew up just like wanting to go to Toys R Us to like look at the toys and like see all that stuff. And like kids today are so consumed with like their iPads and their technology that they're just not playing with things anymore. And Isaac had a school project due today, and his friend came over and they worked on their own projects together, and hers was on Barbie, the inventor of Barbie. And it kind of goes hand in hand with the Toys R Us thing. Like nobody plays with Barbies anymore. I can't name one little girl that either my friend has or like Isaac's friends at school. None of them play with Barbies. I played with Barbies till I was freaking 12.
Well, I know. And like Barbies were like the cool it thing. And the sad thing though about Toys R Us, like, do you remember when you were a kid how they had those commercials and it was like, be a Toys R Us
Jeffrey
kid.
The giraffe. Yes.
You know, and they just don't have that. But apparently I got the scoop because of course, you know, I'm going to ask everybody something. So I asked the manager about Toys R Us and like the game plan or whatever. And he said that he believes that what will happen is there will be some pop-up Toys R Us that will be, maybe somebody will like buy the name and just have like less
like pop-up shops.
Yeah, kind of like that. And it would just be like in areas where there was like high traffic or something like that. But definitely there will not be one in Times Square. And I heard a rumor that FAO Schwartz was going there, but I'm not 100% sure.
Well, that's really
it's
sad.
Devastating, you know?
Just like at the end of an era.
You know, and a turning of a page. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just not feeling it because I don't want to get like feeling like I'm old. You know, at that point, then we've got problems.
For real, though. You're not lying.
So let me tell you this really weird thing.
Okay.
Somebody started freaking me out. They sent me this direct message and started asking me all these weird questions. And one of the questions was, did I like medical equipment? Like, why would I like medical equipment? And is this person telling me that they're going to murder me?
First of all, I literally live alone. I don't have a man to protect me. So I'm going to need you to either A, maybe not tell the story right now, or B, warn me that I'm going to need to sleep with
medical equipment.
Something to protect myself.
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, what
should I be afraid right now?
I mean, I think we should always be afraid. I think the simple answer to that is yes, we should always be afraid. But why would you like randomly, like what was going through their deranged brain when they decided to send me a message if I liked medical equipment? And where were they going with that?
Did you reply?
No, of course I didn't reply. Are you nuts? Act like I didn't see it.
Block them.
Oh my God. No, because then they know that I saw it. So then I'm kind of like, oh man, maybe I just put too much thought into this.
What the fuck were they expecting? They deserve to be blocked.
Well, yeah, when you go around asking people if they like medical equipment, you got problems, dude.
I'm going to go ahead and tell myself that this was a salesperson because I'm literally going to go to bed after this and I won't be able to sleep. So I'm going to say that this was a salesperson. It was a medical equipment rep.
Kale, I'm going to go ahead and say
Nope, I'm not hearing it.
But anyway.
Guess what? I'm finally consider ditching my heels. Just kidding. I'm finally deciding to ditch the sneakers. Here's why. I'm sick of being uncomfortable and I want to look cute. I wear sneakers all the time, so it's time for a change. Thanks to my new loafers, Rothy's, I can look cute and be comfortable. This changes everything. They have a ton of options. I chose the camo loafers. I want something different, something that I can pair casually with my jeans. So what did you pick?
I picked the loafers as well because I have like a million pair of loafers. So I feel like you can never have enough. And I wear them to church and like to business meetings and whatever. And so I just picked the heather gray ones because they kind of matched everything. For you guys who don't know what Rothy's is, it's an everyday flat for life on the go. It's a stylish classic. It's stylish, classic, and comfortable. Their colors and pattern selection is amazing, and they're always updating their lineup. They launch new colors every few weeks and sell out constantly. Actually, the pair I wanted were sold out when I went on the site, but then I got them. So you have to check these shoes out, and then you're going to want to tell every woman you know.
I love their approach and sustainability. They're made from recycled plastic water bottles, and we all drink enough of those because they're the softest shoe you know that you'll ever put on your feet. You'll feel good about wearing them, and they're recycled, duh. A major added bonus, you know, they're machine washable, and let's face it, feet sweat and they stink, so let's wash them. They're great.
Oh my God, Kale.
What?
I don't wash my shoes, but I know that you need to. I love my Rothy's, and you guys will too. Right now, Rothy's has an amazing deal for our listeners. Use code COFFEE to get free shipping, no minimum. Free shipping and free returns and exchanges on your Rothy's shoes, and trust me, you will not want to return them. Go to rothys.com, ROTHYS.com, and enter COFFEE to get your cute shoes and free shipping. No brainer. Shoes that are comfortable, stylish, and sustainable, and free shipping. Get yourself a pair today. Rothys.com. Use promo code COFFEE and get the deal while it lasts. Okay, let's get back to the show. Okay, so did you hear about the like horrific accident that happened like before we got, well, you were already in the city, but I was like on the way there.
No, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so apparently a Playboy model jumped from a New York City building on Friday morning and took her young son that was 7 years old with her. Yes. From a Gotham hotel penthouse window. Hit the second floor of the balcony, and they died instantly. This was at like 8:30 a.m. on Friday morning. Like literally I was on the flight there.
I don't have words. I was already there. I didn't even hear about this.
Yeah, and apparently do you know what street number you were on? Because this was on 46th Street and you were on...
Oh, yeah, I was on 43rd.
Okay, so it couldn't have been too far over, right?
No, that's crazy. I didn't even hear about that.
46th Street. Yeah, how crazy is that? And
that's devastating.
And I mean, it's just like so horrific because, I mean, what could have been going through... She was a former Playboy model, 46 years old. What could have possibly been going through her mind to jump and take her kid with her? And like, did she tell him what they were doing? I mean, or was it like a forced thing or what? Like, I wish I knew more. Did she leave a note? You know, like did she take him with her because she knew nobody else would raise him? Like, what was the deal?
You know, suicide is always just like one of those things that I have to tread lightly with it, but I also have so many questions, and I just feel like I wonder, like, people who I can't even get my thoughts out right now. I feel like somebody probably watched that happen, and so I feel like that way to go was very I don't want to use the word selfish because I don't want to be...
Like, you don't want to sound insensitive, but at the same time...
Yes, but at the same time, there are people on the streets at that time. So it's, you know, you don't know if someone's going to see you do that. You know, I feel like that would scar somebody for life.
Well... You
know, it's already unfortunate enough, and now you're going to kind of scar the people around it.
So in my community where I live, it's not in regards to suicide, but... It's just in reference to like that feeling of scarring for life. But there was a like amphitheater that's really close that opened last summer. And Jackson and I had gone up there for a concert. It was like a little country concert, little band that was going around. And I went with one of my friends and her 2 kids and her mom. And we were all like putting our blankets out and getting the kids toys and, you know, going to little vendors, whatever. And we saw a bunch of people start scurrying around and didn't know what was going on. And literally like right in front of us, there was some people, I don't know if anybody remembers, but there was the flood that was like happening in Florida last year. And people were evacuating. And so there was this mom and her baby who had come from Florida here and was staying with a family friend who was older. And this girl, it had just turned like, it was like between like dusk and dark. It was like that kind of like in between area. Mm-hmm. And she was, this woman with her baby and this other lady were crossing the street at an undesignated crosswalk. And somebody that was actually with the group of people that I was with witnessed the whole thing. She thought a trash can was hit because of the sound of the car. And the 3 people were hit and
oh my gosh,
taken to the hospital. And she said that it was a sound like she will never forget. Literally it was so traumatic. Like, everybody's mood was just, I can't even describe it into words how it felt. And then to know that somebody's baby, they had evacuated from Florida and came here and that happened. And yes, they were in a place where they shouldn't have been. They should have crossed, just literally like it was 2 steps the other way to be in like a designated crosswalk. But they were crossing at an undesignated place and a young girl hit them. And I think about it from both sides, like the girl that hit them, her life's over. She, even if she doesn't go to jail or whatever, she killed 3 people. And for this situation that happened in New York City when we were there, like you said, how are the people's lives that witnessed that? How have they been impacted?
Right.
And it's
just,
you don't know what's going on in their mind to do something like that or to think that they should, have to take it to that level. And especially, like her child, for her to take her own kid's life, like that's something that must have been like really, really bad going on for that to have happened.
I just wish I heard there was a song by Logic and it was the suicide hotline number. I don't know how I just only recently heard it, but apparently it's been out for a long time. But I always because I've been in really, really dark places in my life. And I feel like through it all, I just know that at some point it will get better and I'm going to make it through. And I wish that I could just reach out to all these people and just be like, it's going to get better. Like this isn't, you don't have to do this. You know what I mean? But it's just one of those things that I feel like people don't talk about it and people people know that it's there, but I think there's just so many questions and not enough resources sometimes. And people feel like they really are alone and they don't know what to do. So my heart goes out to everybody that was affected by that. I had no idea that was even happening. And that was literally like 3 blocks over.
Yeah. I mean, it's seriously devastating. And you do wish that you can help, all these people. Like I am not a person that has those types of issues. Like, I don't, obviously like it's normal to be sad, but that's like as far as I've ever been. It's like, sad of a situation, but I go to bed and wake up and it's okay. I'm fine. I'm not a person that gets like depressed or anything like that, luckily. But a lot of people out here do suffer with depression and whatever, like I have anxiety, but, I'm not a depressed person or don't know how that feels to be a depressed person. So, I can't give any advice on it, but I do wish that people would be, like think about how the next day could be so much better if they just like gave it a chance instead of, just like taking such drastic measures. But a lot of people, I think, just go into that mind frame of it's not going to get better.
Right. Oh man. There's so much going on. I just thought that maybe we would have a happy episode. And a lot of the things that I actually had on my list that I put together for tonight's episode, I was also kind of like sad and like, I'm surprised you brought that up. I guess we were on the same page.
So you all know that Father's Day is coming up and buying a gift for dad shouldn't be that hard. Still, most people spend way too much time and energy shopping for something he already has or he doesn't even want. I am going to actually order Will. I hope he's not listening to this, but I'm going to order him the salami bouquet.
I knew it.
Because I actually want to try it, and I always like get in on the gifts that I give him. It's kind of like selfish, but you know, whatever. And I really want to just like take a picture of the salami bouquet to say I actually bought one. So,
well, I mean, do what you got to do to get that salami, girl, you know?
You know?
So the problem with Father's Day is that dad isn't going to tell you what to get him. Your husband, your grandfather, whoever, they're not going to tell you. He might not even know what he wants. But we're going to make this really easy for you. This Father's Day, give him the gift that he's going to love. And that is man crates. Hand-picked, packaged. It's the perfect gift for any man in your life. There's a knife-making kit for the hands-on dads or the whiskey appreciation crate for fathers who love the finer things.
We both have already like got the knife-making kit.
Yes,
Didn't you make it for yourself?
Yes. Most gifts ship in a sealed wooden crate with a crowbar, so he gets to pry his man crate open in front of everyone. Like, how manly is that? And when was the last time you gave your dad a gift that you needed a crowbar to open, you know? So it's like perfect.
With man crates, you're giving your dad more than a gift. You're giving him a gift experience unlike any other. Plus, every man crate comes with 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Get your special Father's Day discount today at mancrates.com/combos. This is a limited time offer only for Father's Day, so go today. That's mancrates.com/combos.
Mancrates.com/combos. So I was going to tell you about, did you follow the John Bonet Ramsey story like I told you about like forever ago?
Of course. I've been following it since I was like 5 or however old I was whenever it came out.
So did you hear that they're thinking about exhuming John Bonet's body?
Yes, but didn't it have something to do with like her dad saying that he felt?
I think he might allow it.
Yeah.
Which makes me believe that my theory all along was correct, because now that the mom is dead, why would he be okay with it? Because she probably did it. He probably covered for her, and he knows that he probably can't get tried again. I'm pretty sure it's a double jeopardy situation. And why would he allow her body to be exhumed?
I honestly think the brother has something to do with it. Like, I swear.
I don't know.
And if anybody like has any question about it, go on YouTube.
I think he definitely knows. He definitely knows what happened, but I don't know that he had something to do with the actual murder.
I definitely just think he did. And if you go,
he was 6 at the time.
Yeah, but I honestly think it was like a situation that maybe they were like fighting or something, or like he hit her.
Like an accident?
Like an accident, and the mom helped cover it up. I really think that happened.
See, I don't know. I feel like the mom did it. And the brother knows, but I think the brother and the dad helped the mom cover it up. I think the mom did it.
Well, I hope that they do, honestly. I mean, I know that sounds...
But at this point, I don't know that they would even find out at this point, because I mean, they did all the testing, they did everything. So what else would they really be to look at other than...
Obviously, there's something there that they have uncovered after all of this time to want to go to those measures to do that.
I think the mom did it. The dad helped cover it up. The brother kept his mouth shut. And that's what I think.
I guess we'll find out. If you watch... Go to YouTube and catch the clip. I think his name's Bert, right?
Who?
John Bonet's brother.
Oh,
Burke or whatever. Okay, so if you go to YouTube and search his interview with Dr. Phil.
He like smirked a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was just very weird and like eerie, and I just got like a really bad vibe.
I did too. I did see parts of it, and I think I have 2 thoughts on that. Number 1, he's never done an interview before ever, so he was probably nervous as shit. Number 2, whether he had part of it or not, like whether he was involved or not, I feel like he's probably weird, because either way, whether he actively was involved or he helped cover it up, he's probably weird because he had to grow up with those thoughts for his whole life. You know what I mean?
I mean, I just think that anytime something like that, like horrific, happens in your life, it shapes you to be like a different person naturally.
Right.
Like that's the natural instinct and progression for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, I know that if something like that happened to one of my siblings, I wouldn't be going, even if it was 20 years removed or however long removed, I wouldn't be going on a Dr. Phil interview, whether it was my first interview or not, and smirking, talking about my dead sibling who died in a way that was non-humane.
Right. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just saying, I mean, at 6 years old, I don't know that a 6-year-old has, I mean, I don't know. I really think the mom did it and got the little boy to be quiet, and the dad helped cover it up.
I think
That's
either,
my theory, and I'm sticking to it.
Either the mom, I have two theories on it, that either the mom did it because she was like a bedwetter and she wanted her to be perfect, like this pageant child that was like absolutely perfect. And they said that, you know, obviously in the case that there were days of urine that had been like left on the bed. So I thought, you know, maybe she's like trying to teach her a lesson to like not be a bedwetter. Maybe she wet the bed or like wet, you know, coming back from the party or something like that. And the mom did it. The little boy walked in while she was doing it, saw it, and then she brainwashed him. That was one of my theories. And the other theory was something about, I can't remember if it was a flashlight or something like that, that they claimed that the little boy had, and it matched a spot on her skull exactly. So
yeah, but a 6-year-old's not going to have the force or the strength to crack somebody's skull.
I don't think it was the force, though. I think it was just the fact of like an object like that hitting her skull, and with her being so young.
Right. Well, I mean, it very well could have been the flashlight. I just don't know that it was the 6-year-old that did it. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what the force would be like behind a 6-year-old.
Well, we can always let Jackson and Lincoln hit us and find out.
Oh my God. I just would love to know the answer. I need to know the answer. I would love to interview the dad.
I would
We
too.
should get him on.
We should try to get him on Coffee Convos podcast.
Did they ever take lie detector tests? Like just everything. I watched it was like a multiple episode series, and I want to say it wasn't, I don't think it was on Netflix. I don't know where it was, where I watched it. But
there's been multiple ones though, and they haven't been consistent. That's the thing. Like there's been...
No, they haven't, because each of them has different facts. But the shit that I heard, like the mom was still in the outfit from yesterday, or like she was still in the same outfit. So all this is going on. You never changed your clothes. You never did anything. Why? Because you were so busy covering up your daughter's murder.
That was my thing.
You forgot to change your fucking clothes. That's what happened.
That was my whole thing. That was one of the main things that stood out to me about the mom's clothes. Like as a mom, you come back
if
from
your
a
daughter,
party.
you put your daughter, yes, you get undressed, you put your kids to bed, or vice versa. Put the kids to bed, get undressed, or get undressed and put the kids to bed. There was also pineapple on the table. The only fingerprints that were shown on the cup were Burke and the mother. So somebody helped. Somebody was eating pineapple with her.
Well, this was the thing about the clothes. Even if she would have woke up in a frantic and the police got there and she was like getting dressed or something, you're still not going to put the jewelry back on that you had on, correct?
You're not going to put any of that stuff on. You're going to find sweats or something.
No, she, God rest her soul, but she's full of shit.
Right. I agree. I mean, you're not putting the same outfit back on. And the dad, after supposedly looking around the house for hours and hours and hours, the police show up, everyone's showing up, and all of a sudden you go right exactly to the body.
First off, if my child was missing, I would have scaled my entire house and every crevice.
Right.
Before hours. I mean, are you kidding?
The whole thing is just off. And I think they knew what they were doing when they invited everybody over, because they knew that it would add, it would be basically just have everybody in and out of the house. So it could have been anybody, you know what I mean? And it would tamper with evidence essentially, because there would be footprints and fingerprints and all kinds of shit. So I think they really just knew what they were doing when they did it. And
it was just so dumb, because obviously like they knew down to the dollar amount of how much his bonus was, like on the ransom note.
Yeah.
Like how stupid is that?
And it was pretty similar to like the mom's wedding.
Right. Yeah.
So, I mean, come on, guys. Come on. I just would, I mean, after all this time, I wonder if the dad feels any type of guilt for covering it up.
And maybe that's why he's agreeing to.
And I hope so.
I'm hoping so too. I hope that he's got right with the Lord, because if he knew anything about this, which I feel very confident that he did, he needs some help.
I agree. And the brother too, because the brother knows. So Lindsay and I just got back from New York, and we both actually got these away suitcases, and I'm obsessed with this luggage. It's literally first class at a coach price. The company was founded by two friends in New York who found themselves at JFK with dead phones, delayed flights, and a bright idea. Luggage with power. Thus, the Away carry-on was born.
What a great genius idea, you guys. Who does not need one of these? The approach is simple. Away creates special objects that are designed to be resilient, resourceful, and essential to the way that you travel today. My Away carry-on bag really saved my life when I had a dead cell phone and did not know my way around New York City, and I was trying to get off of the plane and get to where I was going and had no idea where I was going. It was so easy to just be able to plug in my charger and to be able to be charged up.
There's also another feature that I love. It's the little code to get into the suitcase.
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you a little brief story about that. So I always get checked in security, and I got afraid that I didn't know the code. And the lady, of course, was like standing there waiting for security. And she was like, "Can you give me your code, please?" And it was like so top secret. It was 000, whatever. But, yeah. Yeah, it was really awesome. I haven't set my code quite yet, but I do love that feature.
Oh my gosh, I loved my bag. But anyways, Away asked thousands of people how they pack, why they travel, and what bugs them about their luggage. And so then they designed a bag that kind of solved a few of the old problems, like sticky wheels, and a new problem, which is the dead cell phones.
Away uses high-quality materials while offering a much lower price compared to other brands by cutting the middleman out and selling to you directly. Choose from a variety of color and sizes. They're super strong, but very lightweight.
Both sizes of the carry-ons are available to charge all cell phones, tablets, e-readers, and anything else that's powered by a USB cord. A single charge of the Away carry-on will charge your iPhone 5 times. Away offers a lifetime warranty. If anything breaks, they'll fix it or replace it for you for life. Start your 100-day trial, live with it, vibe with it, travel with it, Instagram it. And if at any point you decide it's not good for you, you can return it for a full refund with no questions asked.
But guaranteed they won't be returning theirs, because I'm not returning mine.
Heck no.
For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/coffee and use promo code coffee during checkout. For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/coffee and use promo code coffee during checkout. Well, while we're going down this slippery slope of like sadness, Will and I were driving to the beach, and somehow we got on the topic. We talk about the most random stuff, and it's just like weird. I don't even know why we do. But we were talking about euthanasia. Is that like how you say it? Basically, where like you euthanize yourself as like a human.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, of course, we agree on nothing. We're like the Notebook. You know what I mean? Like, we never agree on anything, but like somehow we love each other. It's weird. So, he believes that apparently like there was some doctor in Australia or something that he was telling me that had some form of terminal illness and basically wanted to go through this process of euthanasia. And I got very defensive about it and said, you know, when it's your time, God's going to take you like in his time, and it shouldn't be like your choice to do it on your own. And Will said, well, so you think somebody should just know that like they're going to die and they're just like waiting on their death and they're like suffering for however long, but they shouldn't have a right to, you know, basically take their life in that way. And he believes that they should be able to and have a choice, but I believe they shouldn't. So what do you think?
I agree with Will. I think that for myself, if I'm on my deathbed essentially, or I have some terminal illness or something like that, I'm just going to end it, because I feel like having my family, I'm thinking of myself, older, and, I don't want my kids to have to be in and out of the hospital and have, they have a family or they're in college or something crazy, and, they're dealing with their everyday lives. I don't want them to have the burden of me basically on my deathbed for weeks or months on end, waiting for my time when I know I'm not going to survive. So just to make it easier on myself, my body, everybody around me, I would just like to, I would like to be done, and everyone can, grieve and move on with their lives.
And see, I feel like that your days are numbered on this earth, and that God has them numbered. And when he's ready for you, then he'll call you home. And I don't believe that. I personally feel like that is assisted suicide, is how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, I think it is for sure. But I feel like I don't know. I just don't want to, I wouldn't want to see my kids suffer prolonged suffering because of me.
And I feel like also like with the suffering part, like, yes, like your kids are going to suffer obviously if they see you die from like a terminal illness or, whatever. And like, you've got like this long battle or whatever. But part of me feels like also that during that time that you're going through that it's not necessarily like the best life circumstance, but at the same time, it's also helping your loved ones be able to grieve along the way, instead of it being like they know that your day is coming because you have it set.
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess I could see either side. I can see it either way. For me, I'm going to hopefully not ever have to make that decision, but also I would want someone to let me know it's my time.
Well, Will felt the same way. So whatever, guys.
How are y'all married? Like,
I don't know.
Like on a regular, like, do you like vanilla and he likes chocolate? Like, y'all are all different all the time?
All the time. And like, okay, I'm just looking at my kitchen right now, for example. I like bananas, not like green, but I like them semi-green. Like they have to have a tint of green on there. If they have like any brown spots, I'm throwing them in the trash.
And he probably likes them brown.
He likes them if they have brown spots on them. He says that it's like better. But I think it's a different taste when they have like some green to them. So
they definitely have a different taste for sure. Like I feel like they get sweeter as they get older.
Yes, they do.
They also get smaller as they get older.
Yeah. Well, so we argue about that because I throw the bananas away all the time unless they're green. Trying to think, like we're basically different in every way except.
What's his sign?
He's a Taurus.
Oh, they're stubborn as all hell.
Yeah.
I don't really mess with Taurus because I had an experience with one. And it was like a love-hate relationship, but it's cool.
Trust me, I know about it. Gosh, he does some dumb stuff. And I'm just like, geez, Will, like dip into the clue bag. Wake up.
Dip into the clue bag. Oh my gosh, I can't stand you. So it's time to talk about how bad my eyesight is, and I'm squinting all the time. So I got these contact lenses through Hubble, and they're perfect. I love them because they're just like super lightweight. I don't feel anything in my eye, and I can see with them in.
What if you were told that you can get a fresh pair of lenses for every single day for less? 60 contacts for $30. Do the math. That's $1 a day. This is half the price of other brands. Go to HubbleContacts.com and get your first 2 weeks for free.
Hubble sells directly to you, so they can offer you contacts for half the price. They can send you to an optometrist if you don't have a prescription today. Getting contacts has never been more affordable or convenient.
Go to HubbleContacts.com and get your first 2 weeks of lenses for free. That's 15 pairs of lenses for free. So go to HubbleContacts.com and get 20/20 vision for half of the price. Make sure you select our show, Coffee Convos, at checkout. That's HUBBLE contacts.com. Okay, let's get back to it. Do it. I just want to like briefly like lighten the mood for a second and let you guys know a fact, since our kids are all getting close to going to the pool and whatever. The CDC finds that hotel pools and hot tubs are a major cause for waterborne disease and serious illness. From March through the summer months, they have the highest outbreaks. Make sure that you guys check chlorine levels yourself. And it's just an easy and a good idea to make sure that your kids don't get sick.
Wait, so what you're saying is they don't have enough chlorine in them?
Yeah, like the chlorine levels are low or whatever,
low.
that it's not killing the germs. So just make sure you guys are checking those. I don't know exactly what the chlorine levels are supposed to be, but if you're interested, you can send me a message and I'll try to look it up for you guys. But it was just...
So I have a pool and I feel like, I don't know if this is accurate, and call me dumb if there's anyone listening. I don't care. But this is what I'm thinking. So it's kind of like a fish tank, right? So a fish, when you get fish tanks, you have to constantly check the pH levels, or like a fish will die and then it'll like slowly spiral out of control, because every time you add a new fish or a plant or something, it like changes the chemistry of the water. And I'm assuming it's the same way in a pool. So like you might start off with the right chlorine levels, but the more bodies you add to the water, you're getting in and out. People have different oils and skin stuff, lotion, whatever, on their skin. So it probably changes, and then you probably need more chemicals. I will say last year I used my pool so much and I was just like struggling to continuously have enough. I have a saltwater pool. Mine's not chlorine, but obviously the salt turns into chlorine. So yeah, it was hard to keep up with, I'll be honest with you. So I could see why the hotel thing is an issue. But that being said, I probably just won't swim in a hotel pool.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It kind of is freaky.
Kind of grosses me out. Yeah, it just grosses me out.
If I go to a hotel and I like smell chlorine, I'm not offended by that.
Right. I kind of like it. I appreciate it.
Like, I appreciate it. Like, thanks, guys. Like, whatever hotels out there, when you smell chlorine when you walk in, like, thank you for keeping your place clean, because I don't want some like funky fungus going on and my kid swimming in the pool. So no thanks.
Exactly.
I'll pass. Yeah. So there's that. And so tell me about Isaac's project, because I saw it was like very detailed and like, it looked like way hard for his age.
I'm stressed. Okay. So Isaac came home so I came home from the reunion and I picked Isaac up from Joe, and Joe was like, oh, check Isaac's folder. He has a project. So I check it and I'm like reading through it. He has to have, I guess he's been working on some of it in school. So I was thankful for that. And they had to pick essentially like a famous person or some type of figure, inventor, whatever. Isaac picked Henry Ford. And let me just start by telling you that I asked him what made him pick Henry Ford. And he told me that he picked Henry Ford because his outfit was simple. Wow. Interesting. Because he had a simple outfit. So, anyway, he already worked on the timeline at school, but this is what the project consists of. A poster board, a timeline, an information page, a memorized speech, the full character outfit, and the rubric, right? So he has to hand in the rubric with everything, and he has to do a presentation in front of everybody. Okay, first of all, I just feel like that's a little bit much for an 8-year-old. I feel like that's like more like a 4th, 5th grade project.
Is this like a dissertation? Like, I'm confused.
Right. Like, are you trying to go to, are you graduating from?
Are you going to grad school?
Are you going to grad school? Are you going to get a PhD? Like, what are you doing? So I'm annoyed because on the papers, it says no money needs to be spent. Well, I'm sorry. I don't keep outfits that look like fucking 1940s mobster gangster type outfit. You know what I mean? Like the it's like slacks with the button up with the tie with this like super different kind of hat. Like, I don't.
Where did you even find that? Goodwill?
No, Kohl's. And then And then the hat is from Party City.
Thanks, Coles, for coming in clutch. We appreciate you.
So I end up having to help him with a lot of the project. And I'm just annoyed because I just do not send my kid home with more work than he can handle, because I already have enough on my plate, along with every other mom and other parent in America. We don't need the extra work. Yes, it's great that the kids have projects, but this was a little much for his age group. If I have to help him to this extent, I don't feel like you should be sending home this type of project. Am I right or am I wrong?
No, and I feel like this has been like through like it'll be through the end of time. Like, I feel like this happened when we were in school. Like, I remember doing like this American flag project or something like that in 4th grade. And it was all like detailed and all kinds of like crazy stuff. And it was stuff that obviously like I couldn't go into my yard and like find. Like, it was stuff that like you had to go and buy.
Right. Like, what do you mean?
I had to do all these projects. And I also remember having to do one in 6th grade that was like this launching thing. And I had to like weld like stuff together. Do I look like a welder?
No, but welders make a lot of money.
But you know what I mean? Like,
that's a real skill.
Maybe
I should be a welder. I should be a welder.
I think you shouldn't, and pretend like you did.
They make good money. The FabFitFun summer box is here, you guys, and I have to tell you all about it because you totally need to get your hands on one before it sells out, and I know you're going to want this one. I personally love the papaya enzyme peel. I'm obsessed with it. You guys know I love to have fresh and clear skin, and so that's what I'm loving this box.
FabFitFun is a seasonal subscription box for busy women to discover new brands and products for a life well lived in fashion, beauty, home, fitness, and wellness. It's delivered 4 times a year for just $49.99 a box, and there are also editor's boxes available in between seasons, which have full-size products, absolutely no sample, which is completely unbelievable. In my box, I got the Foreo Luna Fofo Face Scrub Brush and Anti-Aging Skincare Device, which, by the way, you guys, is worth $89 all by itself. I also got the Coola Face Sport SPF White Tea Moisturizer, a Pier 1 Marble Ring Dish, a cute as can be Summer and Rose Beach Towel, which was my favorite item in the bag, a Tarte eyeshadow palette, and I also got the Papaya Peel in my box, and I can't wait to try it. I haven't tried that yet, but I love the fact that they are seasonal and they kind of go with what you're doing in that season. So all of this stuff I'll be able to use throughout the summer and then be excited for next season's box.
That's my favorite thing ever. So the summer box is awesome and has over a $320 value for just $49.99. I think it's a great deal. Sign up for FabFitFun today and get your summer box. The FabFitFun summer box is in limited supply, and these boxes always sell out. So you're going to want to use our code COFFEE to get $10 off your first box. So go to fabfitfun.com to sign up and start getting the box for a life well lived. Use promo code COFFEE to get $10 off your first box, and that's over a $200 value for only $39.99. You have to go to fabfitfun.com and use our code COFFEE for $10 off your FabFitFun box.
You guys are going to love it. Okay, let's get back to the show. School projects, like, I'm not looking forward to that, to be perfectly honest.
I'm pissed. I'm really pissed because nobody has poster boards laying around. So yes, I did have to spend money. Even if it was just that, the fact that I had to go to the store, I'm annoyed. I'm just annoyed because...
Like, why couldn't that be a group project, like, inside the classroom?
Yes, and because that's a lot of, like, maybe one person do the timeline, one person print the pictures, one person get the poster board, one person do the speech, one person get the outfit. Like, that's a lot of fucking work for an 8-year-old. And Isaac did great, but I also helped. I had to go to Staples, print out all the pictures of the people because it's a full poster board. They need pictures, they need the timeline, whatever. So Isaac, like, hand wrote out all of the information for the timeline, and then he glued everything, but I had to physically go to Staples. I had to get the poster board. I had to get the construction paper, print out the pictures, and then he set it up on the poster board. But, I mean, if I'm already going to the store and getting all this stuff, I might as well do the whole fucking project.
Well, I mean, imagine the poor kids, too. Like, always think about...
the kids that their moms can't get to the store. They don't have the extra money to go get this stuff. The poster board that we got was a trifold one it was $10.
Yeah,
so
I'm thinking...
not everybody has $10 laying around. Not everybody has, you know what I mean? I had to pay at Staples to print the stuff out, plus the construction paper. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being see you next Tuesday. But also, I just feel like it was a lot of work for an 8-year-old.
And, to be perfectly honest, like, I just don't think it's fair that, if the teachers are going to expect that, then that should be within, I'm not talking about the teacher's budget because I don't think they should have to pay for it either, but like within the county's budget to say, okay, every child is going to have, the same poster, because then that gives other kids unfair advantage, because not every kid's going to come with a trifold poster. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people's kids can't afford it.
Isaac's friend that came here to work on it with her mom, they didn't have a trifold, not because they couldn't afford it, but just because they just didn't have it. So I feel like they need to really specify, or, maybe in the beginning of the year, let us know, okay, this is what we're going to do in May. There's one huge project that we're doing in May. You'll need a poster board, whatever. Like, I put it on the supply list just so that we have it when the time comes, even, because I just wasn't prepared for this right at the end of the year with everything. I don't know. I was just annoyed. I felt like Isaac wouldn't have known what to do. Literally, if I were to read to you what it says, matter of fact, mind you, my son is in 2nd grade. He's 8 years old. And the poster requirements, one of the requirements on the poster says, a description of the contribution that was most important in history from the historical figure. I don't think that my 8-year-old would understand what that means.
Probably not. I'm going to go with no.
A description of the contribution that was most important in history from the historical figure. I don't understand. So, and he has to memorize a 1 to 2 minute speech.
That's a lot to think of, like an 8-year-old to talk for 1 to 2 minutes. I mean, I know Jackson never shuts up, so that wouldn't be hard for him, but to like memorize basically like a speech to say something specific, that's a lot.
Yeah. The speech should include their name, when they were born, if they were married, to whom, how many children, why they were famous, any other interesting facts, when they died, if known, and how. I just feel like this is just a lot for an 8-year-old. I couldn't even memorize speeches when I was in high school. So, but Isaac has his little note cards, and we've been practicing it. I'm just slightly annoyed. But that was my frustration of the day.
Well, while we're on the topic of schools, as Kale and I were waiting to podcast with Chelsea on Friday, we were catching the news on CNN about the school shooting, the Santa Fe school shooting. The father, as of today, came forward and talked about how his son was a victim. And
a victim to what?
A victim to bullying. And that, apparently the dad said that he was a good kid and that he was mistreated at the school where he opened fire that killed 8 students and 2 teachers. And his dad said that he believed that was the reasoning behind the school shooting. And it also, his statement was, something must have happened now this last week. Somebody probably came and hurt him. And since he was a solid boy, I don't know what could have happened. I can't say what happened. All I can do is say what I suspect as a father. It was brought to the district's attention, and several sources are falsely reporting claims about the high school coaches and bullying-like behaviors towards the student shooter. Administration apparently looked into these claims and confirmed that these reports are untrue. But also, I do feel like a lot of stuff doesn't get to administration. And of course, at this point, with deaths involved and danger like that out of school, I do feel like they're going to downplay the fact if, the child was bullied and they knew anything about it, they're going to try to act as
like
if
it didn't happen.
None of that happened. Not saying that that's a reason for somebody to go into a school and shoot people. And the family of one of the victims say that they believe that their daughter was targeted because she repeatedly rejected the gunman's advances to date her. And she was a 16-year-old girl, and she had apparently been basically like ignoring him for the past 4 months and his advances to try to be with her. So, I don't know. To me, it's just completely terrifying. Like literally my heart's racing right now because I can't even imagine the feeling. And we've talked about this on the podcast before, and school shootings and how many shootings that there have been, and tightening gun laws and blah, blah, blah. I just don't know really what the answer is. And I don't know if, government knows the answer. I don't know that anybody really knows like what the direct answer is, because I think if there was one, that it would be
not a non-issue.
It would be a non-issue, but
right.
I don't think there is like a single direct answer of how to fix it. I just wish that when like this kind of stuff happened, that we kind of got a clear view of details of what led up to it and how these kids got away from home with guns,
right.
How did it happen? Because I know in my household, nobody's getting out of this house with a gun because they're secured. So,
well, not only that, but I'm checking my kid's backpack before he even gets to the bus. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. That's it's just a hard topic to even cover, I feel like.
And I mean, Jackson's school, even in preschool, like they have to have clear backpacks. And I know that they were trying to do that like a long time ago when clear backpacks like first became a thing, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They tried to enforce that, I think, like all across the board of having clear backpacks in school. But then you have the issue of you allow purses in, you allow band instruments in, I'm trying to think of all the places that like a gun could be hidden, like underneath pants, and a
gym bag, sports bags.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many ways to
conceal
be able to get it in. To me, it's just terrifying. One of the parents said, anybody who wants to hear their heart stop and see how long they cannot breathe, wait for the phone call to come in. And when your child is in a situation like that, until you know that they are safe.
That's horrible.
And I mean, I couldn't imagine, like, could you imagine those parents? I'm not just talking about this school shooting, but, other school shootings.
Right.
Knowing that your child's in that place and you haven't got the call yet.
No. Mm-mm.
I mean, that's absolutely, to me, mortifying. Like, my heart's literally racing so hard that I can't even, I don't know, like, what could possibly be going through someone's head. Again, we keep saying this, what's going through somebody's head on this podcast.
But that's really like the theme of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I'm going to be praying for all the people that are involved, the parents of that child, because obviously something was wrong. There was a disconnect somewhere, and, all the kids that were affected and
their families, the school district, everybody. I'm
going to be praying for them. And, and before we go, Kale, a ton of people have been messaging about the reunion.
No, so please. I cannot talk about the reunion anymore.
So you would not like to clarify anything in regards to the reunion?
I will clarify that I did not get beat up. Brianna and I did not hit each other. I did confront her in a room with just the two of us, no cameras. Yes, I did want to punch her. Yes, I did try. And the security guards got me before I could. So when she came out guns blazing, I can't say that I was surprised. But I certainly didn't expect for Brittany to come up behind me and pull my hair. I did not expect that. I texted 3 producers. I said I was uncomfortable with her behind me because obviously I couldn't see what she was doing or what she would have done. I get up, walk away, and here she comes running up behind me. She pulls my hair, and I've never heard the sounds of anything like the sounds that I heard out of Brianna's mouth. She sounded and looked like an exorcism was occurring, and she threw lamps and vases. She was screaming. I've never seen anything like that. I've honestly never seen anything like that. And
lamps and vases. Thank God I didn't go.
Yes, and even Larry said that. Larry was like, "Thank God Lindsay didn't come." I said, "I know." So yeah,
Could you imagine me like in that situation? Like,
no.
No.
I think, no. I feel bad for Chelsea because she was pregnant and I promised her that I was never going to fight in front of her. I was never going to do something like that. You know, Chelsea's a really good friend of mine. So that bothered me a lot. But
wow. So I mean, because there's all these things, you know, circling around, and obviously with our podcast being affiliated with, you know, Teen Mom stuff. And then we're kind of like, I mean, we're separate too, but a lot of the Teen Mom drama stuff comes in on the podcast Instagram and messages and whatever. And people saying that Brianna quit the show.
I don't know. I have no idea. I haven't talked to them. I don't care. She tweeted me yesterday, which also my response was just happy birthday because I didn't ever really want it to go this far, and I didn't really, you know, she crossed a couple lines, and after we left that room that was closed with no cameras, I was over it. I was like, you know what? This is a bunch of bullshit. The security guards told me that they were never going to let me hit her. So at that point, it was like, for what? Like, why am I even going to continue this? So when we went on stage, I was fine. Like, I didn't feel comfortable with them sitting behind me, but I also was fine. Like, I was like, we can move on.
Right.
And
the anger got out.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, it is what it is. And I hope that, I don't know if they quit. I don't care if they quit. I'll never have to see them again. They'll never have to see me again. And, you know, I apologize to Chelsea, and me, Leah, and Chelsea will remain friends and hopefully continue to be able to do things together with like reunions and unseen moments. Hopefully the three of us will at least be able to work together. So, I mean, that's all. That's
hilarious that Larry said that he's glad I didn't.
Yeah. He was like, thank God Lindsay didn't come. And he started laughing. I said, I know, like she probably would have killed me.
And if lamps were being thrown and stuff, like, I'm not trying to be involved in that. You know what I mean? Like, nobody wants to get hit with a lamp and like vases and stuff. I mean, that's just taking it to the next level of uncomfortable.
Right.
Well, it's been real. I know that you're gearing up to go on another show. So,
yes. So I'll be keeping, actually, we're going to record as soon as I get back so I can fill y'all in.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. I can't wait for you to give me all of the drama. Are you going to be able to have your phone while you're there? They take it or what?
I have no idea. I'm taking my phone and I don't know if they're taking it, but I'm going to bring it with and see what happens.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can't wait to hear about all of the details. So until next time, guys, it was a pleasure. Make sure you follow us on Coffee Convos podcast Instagram. We're going to be posting photos and videos and stuff this week from our episode with Chelsea. And we have had a great time and can't wait to talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Have a good one.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Babes and Babies, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.